Welcome back again, dear students. Now we are moving on to our next family, that is Asteraceae. So you studied some of the families coming under Polypetalae. Now we are going to discuss the family that is coming under Gamopetalae. So by looking into this image, you know which plant is this. Okay, that is our sunflower. Okay. So sunflower family, that is Asteraceae, aster family, daisy family, sunflower family, etc. So I think while I am telling all these plants, you got an image of each one by one. Clear? Okay. So its classification is Dicotyledone, Gamopetalae, Inferae and Asterales. So it is very much clear that ovary is inferior and petals are united. Gamopetalae, Inferae and Asterales. So this family is also known by another name, Compositae. It is considered as the most advanced and largest family among angiosperms, and it is widely spread family. You can see the members all over the world, and there are reported about 23,000 species reported all over the world, and belongs to 1,000 genera. In India, there is about 700 species. So, cosmopolitan in distribution. All over the world, you can see plants belongs to this Asteraceae. Okay. And its habit. Most of them are herbaceous, small herbs. Some may be shrubs and climbers are there, very rare, but trees and climbers are very less. Usually herbaceous forms are available. And while looking into its leaves, they are simple, alternate or opposite. Peculiar feature is most of the leaves are, its margins are pinnately or palmately lobed. Margins only. You know the leaf of Jamanthi, then Chendu Malliga, Cosmos. So you can see its leaf margins pinnately lobed or palmately lobed. Clear? Rarely they are compound leaves. Then another peculiar feature is its inflorescence is known as head or capitulum. We discussed its structure while studying our inflorescence. Understood? And capitulum inflorescence means actually it is look like a capitulum, a head, and with two types of flowers, disc flowers, floret and ray floret. That is huge number of flowers arranged in a common space, a head or a disc, and that individual flowers in that inflorescence is known as what? Floret. Clear? So if you want, you can clarify by looking back to the class of inflorescence. Clear? Then each floret, that is each flower in the inflorescence is having a bract known as pale or chaff. Each flower and its bract, flowers bract. Okay. Now the whole inflorescence have its base, receptacle at its base having a bract, that is cluster of bract, involucre, it is known as involucre of bract, that is known as phyllaries. Okay. So each floret having bract, chaff, and total inflorescence, the receptacle base having a involucre of bract, that is known as what? Phyllaries. I will show you the picture. So these are the orientation of the capitulum or head in this family. See how beautifully these are arranged. So while looking this image, now you are familiar with the members of the family. See, so don't confuse, this is not a flower, this is an inflorescence. Each of this is an inflorescence. Be careful, because there are two types of florets or number of florets or individual flowers arranged in a particular disc shaped structure. Clear? This is an inflorescence. While we are going to pluck, we will usually say, I am going to pluck a flower. I am going to pluck a cosmos flower. I am going to pluck a gerbera flower. But actually that is not a flower, that is an inflorescence. Look. Okay. So this is the central flowers and these are the peripheral flowers. Okay. Some having not central and peripheral, that may be some differences that I will discuss. Okay. See, this capitulum or head are of two types. One is heterogamous head, another one is homogamous head. What is meant by heterogamous head? That inflorescence is having florets, clear? And there are two types of floret. One is central disc floret and another one is peripheral ray floret. Clear? Disc floret is bisexual and actinomorphic. Ray floret is zygomorphic. Sometimes bisexual or sometimes neutral. See, in that previous picture, you can see that image. See, this is the central disc floret and these are the ray floret. Clear? Disc floret and ray floret. Disc floret is actinomorphic bisexual. Ray floret is usually zygomorphic, may be bisexual or neuter means not male, not female. Clear? And another one is homogamous, means all similar. Maybe disc or maybe ray. Only one type that are usually bisexual, actinomorphic or zygomorphic. Bisexual, actinomorphic or zygomorphic. Only one type of floret. Clear? Hetero means different. Heterogamous, different. Two, that is ray and disc. Homo means same. That is only one type. Understood? Okay. Now, basic plan of florets. So, these are the 5 different ways by which these are arranged. See, this is the image of the floret, capitulum inflorescence cut open. See, this is a central disc and these are the disc florets. These are the disc floret. This is only one side cut open and these are the peripheral ray floret. So, these are the peripheral ray floret and these are the disc floret. And see, this is the filary or the involucre of Bract known as filary. Clear? So, there are different types of organization. 5 plants are there. Tubular or disc floret. Corolla regular, floret perfect. Tubular or disc with floret pistillate. Floret perfect means bisexual. Floret pistillate means female only. Then ligulate or ray, that is only outer side. That is zygomorphic and pistillate, only female. That is zygomorphic and sterile or neuter, no male and no female. That is zygomorphic and perfect means bisexual. So, ligulate with bisexual, ligulate with neuter, ligulate with female. Okay, disc with female, disc with bisexual. These are the 5 plants usually observed. See, this is the picture you can see here. This is a receptacle and these are the disc florets and this is the ray floret. Clear? Okay, these are the Bract filary. See, from this one individual flower is taken out. This is the ray floret, this one, ray floret taken out and this is the disc floret. From center it is taken out. Look at disc floret. You can see what are the parts: basal, calyx, then petals, stamens, stigma, etc. Here also the stigma, then stamens and basal portions that we will discuss later. Okay. Now, first part is calyx. This is a very important, something different family. Here, calyx having usually the unit what we studied is sepals. But here, calyx is represented by pappus. What do you mean by pappus? Pappus are the small, finest hair-like structures. So, calyx modified into pappus. See, this is the pappus outer. These are the pappus. Okay, that is attached to the seed. Okay, pappus may be bristles, small brush like awns or scales or may be absent. Now, corolla, 5 petals are there. Gamopetales, that is why it belongs to Gamopetalae. Valvate estuation. 3 types of corolla are there. 5-lobed tubular corolla like this. 5-lobed, 5 parts, because all are united, 5 petals united, 5-lobed, tubular, tube-like. Then ligulate, this is the ligulate condition with 3 to 5 teeth, apex having teeth. Okay. Then bilabiate means 2 groups, one group 3 united, another 2 united. So 3 lobes in upper lip and 2 lobes in lower lip. Okay, so 5 lobed tubular or bilabiate with 3 lobes, upper lip and 2 lips, 2 lobes in the lower lips. So any conditions you can see here. So I will draw the diagram, see how it is. So first one is 5 lobed. This is tubular I told. So tubular like this. Then this is the way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lobes. This is the one condition. Okay, and tubular. Okay. Second condition is that ligulate like this with a here what teeth, 5 teeth, ligulate. Okay. Then what about the third one? This is the bilabiate. How it is arranged? Bilabiate. One is having 3 lobes. 1, 2 and 3 lobes. Okay. That is one case. And on other side having what? 2 lobes. 1, 2. Likewise. That is with a bilabiate condition. So anyway, these are the 3 types of corolla observed in this group. Clear? Now, ray flower. This is a ray floret. See, this is the ligulate condition. These are the stigma. These are the anthers. Okay, anthers are united. That I will discuss in the next point. These are the pappus hairs. Calyx modified into pappus. This is a disc having this corolla, then stamens and all other parts. This ligulate is this one. That's large ligulate condition. Okay. Now, androecium. Androecium with the 5 stamens, and stamens are united. That condition is syngenesious. We studied that already. Filaments are free, but anthers are united. Understood? So, syngenesious is the typical feature of the family Asteraceae. See how this is happened here. Stamens are, anthers are all united, but filaments free. See, anthers are united, but filaments are free. Clear? This is the syngenesious condition. So, syngenesious is the feature of Asteraceae. Okay. Style and filaments are free. Then gynoecium, what about gynoecium? We already said in the classification, this is inferior ovary, inferior. So, bicarpellary, 2 carpels, syncarpus, inferior, unilocular. Only one ovule with basal placentation. So, this is a typical to this family. Bicarpellary, inferior, unilocular, basal placentation. Then syngenesious condition in androecium. Pappus in calyx. Ligulate, disc in corolla. So, everything special. Okay. Then fruit is also another important one. Typical of the family, that is Cypsela. With a persistent pappus enclosed by bract in the fruit. You know, I already told you the picture coming back. This is the picture of the persistent pappus in the fruit. Pappus hairs. This is the fruit. Pappus in the fruit. Okay. So, that is very important. Another point is a nectar secreting disc present in the base of the corolla tube. Nectar is the sugary substance, you know, like honey that is produced in a disc, nectar disc, that is present at the base of corolla tube. Okay. Fruit is Cypsela. Okay. Now, so we finished the part flower everything. So, flower arranged in inflorescence. What is inflorescence? That is head or capitulum. There are 2 groups of flowers, disc floret and ray floret. If both are present, heterogamous. If one is present, homogamous. Okay. Then 5 different plants. Then corolla, that is ligulate, tubular, having 5 different plants of arrangement. And calyx modified into pappus, bristles or some awn-like structures. Then androecium syngenesious with filaments free, anthers fused. Then gynoecium with a unilocular, bicarpellary, inferior ovary with the basal placentation. And fruit is Cypsela. Okay. Now moving on to economic importance. Most of the plants in this family are ornamental plants. You know all these, chrysanthemum, gemanthi, clear, dahlia, very famous, helichrysum. When you visit Ooty Botanical Garden, you can see flowers in flower vase, that everlasting flowers, that when you keep, that will be there for 6 or 1 year without any damage. That is helichrysum. Zinnia, our zinni flower. Helianthus, sunflower. Okay. So they are all many types of gerberas, cosmos. They are all ornamental plants. Then about medicinal plants, Blumia balsamifera is a medicinal plant used for insomnia. Spiranthus available in our paddy fields and all, that stomach ache. Then Spailanthus, palluvedana chedi, very common in our garden, that are used for to relieve toothache, etc. Then most of the plants in this family are used as natural insecticide. Example, chrysanthemum, gemanthi, pyrethrum, etc. Chendumalliga, they are all used as insecticide. And edible are tuberous roots of Helianthus, Dahlia, Lectuca, etc. are edible. Lectuca available in market. Then oil, Brangraj from that is a name, a brand name obtained from Eclipta, Bringadi, Dila Bringadi Tailam, Bringadi, the Sanskrit name. That is Kayonni, the plant is Eclipta, Kayonni, very good for hair growth. Okay, so that is belongs to this group. Fatty oil from Helianthus, sunflower oil, perfume oil from Tagetes, Tagetes is Chendumalliga. Then different oils are used for making cosmetic items also. Then dye, a red dye from Carthamus tinctorius, that is also used for preparing candles, liquor, etc. So economically this group is also very, very important. Now about this illustration, look at, this is a common plant in our campus and a widely growing plant, Tridax procumbens. You can see the male flower, the both florets marked here, that is the diagram of both florets, then florellus and flora diagram, syngenaceous anther. What is this marked outside? That is pappus hairs, numerous are there. Okay. Now look at another one, Senidrella nudiflora, a very common plant in our field. You can easily available in your home surroundings and all. This is also a very common. See the syngenaceous nature. This is the flower, disc and ray florets are there. Okay. Now we can familiarize some of the plants. See, this is Spiranthus indicus. This is available in paddy fields. In our near our college, Muyyam paddy fields. After this, this rainy season, and now also it's available in huge number, violet colored Spiranthus. This is the Spailanthus ciliata, I told you, Pallivedana. This is another Spailanthus radicans, color change. So look at all flowers, some resemblances are there in inflorescence. Okay. Now this is Acmella. This is also very common. This is another Acmella paniculata in our field. This is Grangia madarasapatana. Grangia madarasapatana. This is also very common, available in field. So look at these leaves, lobed condition that I told you already. Some having simple leaves, some having lobed leaves. This and this Grangia and Spiranthus available in paddy fields. Okay. Now this is our common cosmos, Caudatus, and this is our chrysanthemum, Gemanthi. This is Tridax available in our campus and everywhere. This is Tagetes erectus, our Chendumalliga common. This is Vedalia, a weed available in almost all places. In our campus also this is available. And this is Tithonia, very good velvet appearance, its leaf, its petals, Tithonia. Okay. So what about this is disc floret and this is what? Ray floret. Some differences are there in each case, each flowers, florets and all. Okay. And now Eclipta alba, this is Kayonni. I already told you, Bringa, Kayonni. This is Vernonia cinerea, our Puvang Kurundal, Vernonia cinerea. This is the Senidrella nodiflora, a small yellow flower. This is also very common. Senidrella nodiflora. This may usually ask for examination, but it is very easy for you to identify the family Asteraceae. But this flower may create some confusion if you are not looking into, because it's a small flower. First, when you first appearance, you will think about these are 5 petals of a single flower. Don't confuse. Some florets are there at the center. Okay. And this is our gerbera that we are using for decoration purposes. This is our common dahlia and this is our zinnia. Okay. So, huge number of plants available in this family. You can prefer any 2 from this family for your herbarium sheet. Okay. And now we are looking upon advanced characters. This is usually a question arising from this family. What are the advanced characters of Asteraceae? Usually in the question paper you can see this question. First one is cosmopolitan distribution, widely distributed, herbaceous habit, capitulum inflorescence, presence of large number of flowers in a small space. No, space is small but flowers are numerous, clear. So, several flowers pollinate by an insect. So, that is an advanced feature. Okay. Then actinomorphic condition is there and zygomorphic. Disc is actinomorphic, ray is zygomorphic. Then unisexual, some may be pistillate flower, some are bisexual. Okay. Then calyx modified, reduced to pappus. Then fusion of stamen, that is ingenuous condition, and fruit cypsela. Okay. So whatever you studied as special in this family is its advanced character. So you can study this family very. This is very, very important. Usually essay may be asking from this family. Okay. So I am stopping here. So study well, look around how many types of head inflorescence are there in your surroundings. Go through them, collect it, study well. Okay. So have a nice day. Thank you.